Good morning YouTube, my name's Andrea, and in this video I will be showing you how to create your very own worm farm for composting. Yes folks, I got worms. I'm going to try to have lots more worms and lots more worm poop. Little backstory, last October I bought a new house, my very first house, and it is sitting on a 1/4 of an acre, and I am attempting to really transform the backyard. Right now, or when I first bought it, it was quite undulating, very overgrown, very dried out. I live in Utah, so I mean the second you stop watering something, it's like super dry, flammable. So I'll insert a photo of what it looks like right now. Right now we're in the middle of winter, so there's not a ton I can do in the yard other than throw my compost out there. But I am restarting a worm bin so I can get some worm poop going for my garden. So I shall show you what I got. I've got the setup in my living room. It's super simple. It's not smelly. The only thing that I would recommend is not to put any meat or dairy products in your compost if you are keeping anything inside, because it'll get smelly. Also, I'd like to give some sort of disclaimer. I am a self-proclaimed gray thumb gardener, so I am not an expert and I am learning, and this is what I'm doing so far. So I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you can get something out of it. Thanks. Alright guys, I've got my little setup in the living room here. Ooh, and there's an Olive barking in the background. This is Olive. Hi Olive. Are you wondering what the hell we're doing? We're making worms. Yeah. Worms right on over here. So what we've got is, this is just an old bin I had lying around, like a tote for, you know, Christmas stuff or things like that. I've drilled holes all throughout the bin, including a few holes in the bottom. This has been used for compost before, so I just rinsed it out in the shower. We will put something underneath, some sort of plastic, for just because I'm gonna have it inside. I don't want it to drain into the carpet. And you also do get moisture from your worms as they're creating the poop. So so we've got that. I've also got a full grocery bag of shredded paper, as well as the same amount of shredded paper that's been soaked in water, so it's quite wet. In addition to that, I have got about 4 cups of topsoil and about 8 cups of coffee grounds. The coffee grounds are very useful because they give the worms some grit to digest their food and be able to like push it through. They don't have teeth, so that's what's used. It's really interesting to me. I'm still learning so much about it. I've also got just a bit of compost in here right now. A couple banana peels and some kale stems. As far as worm composting goes, it's a little different. Worms can eat up to half their body weight in food every day. So if you think about it, if you have too much food, that is where you're going to maybe run into some smell as well, because you'll have a lot of decay and it won't be eaten. So about every 2 days I'll put a banana peel or something in my bin, and it seems to keep the worms happy. So I'm going to put that all in, and mix it together and show you what it looks like. Okay, see you in a minute. Okay, first layer, we've got dry paper all in here. Next, I'm going to just dump in this topsoil mixed with the coffee grounds, all nice and wet still. And just kind of mix that up. These coffee ground filters, I'm just gonna let them stick in here too, because they will break down super quick. Got our kale stems. Got our banana peel. Wear gloves if this grosses you out. This is all pretty new food still, so it's not super grody yet. So I got this mixed in like that. And now I'm going to add our wet paper. So you don't want your bin to be too wet, but you want it to stay moist, right? So just think about the kind of environment worms like to live in. We're kind of just trying to simulate that to get them to be super happy. So mixing this up, gonna kind of let it fluff it, get some of this dry paper going here. Next step, now that this is all mixed up together, if you can see it good, my ghetto taking a video with my phone because I've never done this before. Next step is to add the worms. We shall return with worms. All right, we're back with the rest of our supplies. It's the next morning. Last night I actually did some juicing, and my juicer makes this like juice pulp poop, which is appropriate for our worm poop. And Olive is so into it. It's so funny. I figure it's got to be so damn good for her. It's literally just vegetable pulp. So she's eating these, but I also grabbed a couple because I thought it'd be perfect to put in the worm bin to go with the worms, unless Olive eats them all. So these are our worms. They are, ooh, he's moving for us. They are red wigglers, which are the typical type of worm you would use for compost. They really enrich your soil. I just got them at PetSmart in this little bin. Oh, Olive's going to town. You can get them online, but I was being impatient, and I figure this is a good amount to start with. I've done this amount before, and it's really taken off. So what we're going to do is we've got this all mixed up. I misted it with some water as well. I'm gonna create like a little bit of a hole for them so they aren't totally flipped out. We gonna dump them in. Hi dudes. Ooh yeah, see, they tend to clump when they're nervous. So like, see how they've arrived kind of in a clump like that? There should be about 60 worms in here. So I'm hoping you can see that okay. Oh, that's a little bit better. So they clump typically, so I'm gonna give them a little beet poop so they don't have to move very far if they're flipped out. Make them happy, and then just cover them a little bit. Oh, that's a old coffee filter. I'm gonna cover them just a little bit with paper, and I'm gonna mist a little. It's my handy dandy mushroom mister. Let me know if you want to see a mushroom video. We're trying to grow those as well. Getting my gray thumb all sorts of green, hopefully. So yeah, that's it. I'm gonna move this baby downstairs so my boyfriend doesn't wonder why we have worms living in the living room. Okay guys, this is our little setup. This is the little spare bedroom slash yoga room slash place I throw stuff like worms. So I've got our tote with the lid on it, worms, and I've got this little just extra bin that I had laying around for like wrapping paper underneath it to just catch any moisture that comes out. There's such thing as I believe it's called worm tea, and it's kind of like, I guess, you know, a byproduct from worms making their castings. I'm not entirely sure what it is, but I know that it's really good for your garden as well. So I'm keeping that if it ends up in that little guy. Thanks again for watching. I am going to post some, or insert some photos in here somehow. I'll figure it out, I think, of what my backyard looks like, and kind of, you know, the plan as far as where I'm putting the majority of my compost and where I'd like these worm castings to go. I'd really love to have a really good vegetable garden going in the, you know, in the spring into the fall next year. So I'm thinking this is going to be a good way to get it started, and I'm happy and excited to have something in the winter to do to work towards that. So if you could give this video a thumbs up, I would so appreciate it. Even if it's just because you laughed at me, that is great. I will take it. Thanks so much.